Make a move that's going to set you up to make the money you want. Continuing to do more of the same and telling yourself you're going to figure it out. Or maybe I should try this. Or what about this? I need to think about this more. I don't know. I need to lick my wounds more. I'm feeling really unmotivated. Well, you can do that. And then you're also not going to grow your business and help the people that you want to help. And you're just wasting more time. And I get it. I'm not being insensitive. Here's a double dose of truth that I can guarantee no one has told you. Over 80% of online courses and group programs never hit their enrollment goals. And 62% of small business owners admit they've considered giving up during a sales slump, during a launch that isn't going well. I'm sharing that with you, number one, so you know you're not alone in your frustration, in things not happening. It can be really easy when you look on social media to think that everybody is getting hundreds and thousands of people getting their programs and buying their courses nonstop. And it's just you, and that is not the case. So I want you to really think about that. The majority of people building online businesses are stuck between offers that aren't selling and feel like they're failing. This is why I'm always booked and busy as a strategist and someone who specializes in getting you high volume of cash and clients online, like converting strangers into paying clients in a short period of time, because this is a big problem. When you have a big problem, you can have a big business as long as you solve it and do it well. So if this sounds like you are in the right place, in the right episode, and in the right time. All right. And if your offer isn't the problem, like you are convinced it's not your offer, then it's your strategy. Okay, that's the problem. In today's episode, I am pulling back the curtain on why your group courses and programs aren't filling, and the real reason your audience isn't buying, even if they say they're interested. I'm also going to walk you through my scale formula, which is my exact method I've been using for years to help entrepreneurs get their offers filled with excited buyers without begging, discounting, convincing, repeating yourself over and over again, feel like you're slogging away, and God forbid you doing any sort of cold DMing, hey girl messages, which are not permitted on my watch. So let's get to it. Get ready to take notes because this is the episode that is going to get your sales popping. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your abundance, your relationships, and everything in between. I need to give a warning for this episode. I pulled an all-nighter last night, and not because I wanted to. Like, I would never want to. Like, that didn't even go well when I was partying heavily in my 20s. I don't know if any of you have had this happen with your animals, but I had one of my closest friends stay the night. And fun fact, very few people are permitted to stay the night in any of my dwellings. I'm very particular about my environment and who is in it. As being someone who was raised in a highly dysfunctional, abusive environment, I can get very triggered easily, even by people who are wonderful people. And so there's already a little bit of, I guess you could say, low-lying anxiety, no matter who is staying and how much I love them and how much I trust them, because there's unfamiliar noises in the house. And so Chubbs is also a highly sensitive animal. A lot of English bulldogs are, and truly like bully breeds. French bulldogs are similar. And I'm sure he also picks up on my highly sensitive nature. Well, and Regina's like, oh my God, why are we sharing my menstrual cycle? But she also won't care. So she had her period and I didn't know she did. And you would think it didn't matter, but Chubbs was insatiable. He was insane. And I looked at her and I go, you have your period. And she goes, yep. And I go, got it. And he was wild. And not mean. He was just like feral and in heat, and he's fixed. Long story short, nothing calmed him down. And she's great with dogs and even knew to ignore him, not give eye contact, in order to calm him down. He never calmed down. And she doesn't know this because I didn't want her to feel bad about it because it's not her fault. And obviously, she's in a completely separate bedroom. So I thought he'll be fine when she goes like to bed and the door is shut, and he's just with mom and, it's all chill and there's no noises. No, all night long, pacing in front of the door like a lion, pacing, 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 panting to the point where he threw up and then had a mini seizure. So Chubbs is okay. I'm looking at him right now as I'm recording. And I got to shout out ChatGPT, man, because I was tripping. I was like, am I taking him to emergency? Like, what am I doing? And his nervous system got stuck on overload. And I guess this can happen, especially with like certain breeds. And because bulldogs don't breathe well anyway. So they have that going on. And he was stuck in it and nothing worked. Literally nothing worked at all. Like I even at 5 a.m. with my night guard in looking crazy because I was delirious. I was walking him out by the beach, which by the way, it's actually pretty amazing and stunning outside that early. And I don't get up early. I'm not a morning person. And nothing calmed him down. So that was my story in saying, number one, let me know, DM me on Instagram at Project Me with Tiffany. Does this happen with your animals? And do you have any tips for this? Because I don't feel I could have done anything different. And two, I am still showing up regardless for you and for this episode. It would be an easy excuse. I pulled an all-nighter. I am already unwell in the mind, and then this just compounds it. And then you wouldn't have an episode. But that's not how we show up for our businesses. That's not how we show up for the audiences that we care about, the people that we care about. In truth, this is not how we best show up for ourselves and our dreams. And you have to be willing to show up regardless if you don't feel well, regardless if you're in a bad mood, regardless if someone hurt your feelings, regardless if your launch isn't going well, regardless if the tech blew up and it's a shit show, regardless if there's 3 fucking people who bought or 3,000 people who bought, you have to be willing to show up. And that is the attitude I need you to have going into selling anything, especially that is high volume. Because if your energy is only dependent on the excitement of more people have signed up, so I can help more people and I'm going to make more money. And now that validates me that people want my stuff and I'm doing a good job. Yes, of course it feels amazing. Just like if you were a singing artist and you want to be number 1 on the charts. An author wants to naturally, not with any like schemes and scams, be on genuinely on the New York Times bestselling list. Of course we want that. But you have to be willing to show up when you don't even come close to the top 50. When you have a flop, you have to be willing to keep showing up. And that's how you get there. Yes, there are people who right out of the gate have a best-selling book and you've never heard of them before, like the lady who wrote 50 Shades of Grey, right? There's always some form of anomaly. But usually those people have also been practicing writing privately for years. It's not like they haven't been doing anything with their craft. Yes, there are people who within a couple weeks of starting a social media platform go mega viral with a video. And then they start selling people courses and programs on, how to go viral and how to grow your audience and how to get all these followers in 14 days and 30 days like I did. Well, they're an anomaly. They had some random fluke happen. There was no strategy behind it. And therefore, they can't teach you how to do it because they don't even know how it happened to them, right? But one of the things that is built in terms of respect from people and something that is your non-monetary currency, your non-testimonial currency, is that you have gone after something for years. You've massaged it. You've tried different iterations. Things have flopped. Things have failed. Things have gone just okay. And that is who people really want to buy from, not from someone who's an anomaly. They don't even know how they've navigated themselves there. They don't even know how they got there. I would never hire a coach that hasn't gone through stuff, that hasn't botched auditions, that hasn't had no publishers take their books, that hasn't put out offers and had launches that failed, because that's not real life. That's not real business. That's fantasy thinking. And it's so easy to get caught up in this fantasy thinking when you're looking on social media and you have people fantasy marketing to you. It's not really sexy for people to be like, hey, buy from me. My launch failed. All right. Like, so you're not going to see that. Or I'm really struggling to make any sales right now. So hire me to show you how to sell things. But really, the secret sauce is in you being transparent with people. You're not going to get the people that are looking for like the get rich quick and the get results quick type people. And those people are usually like one and done buyers anyway. And a lot of people come to me after they've bought all that other stuff. And I've fallen for that stuff too, especially like in the weight loss world. Like I've bought the ab belt, the shake weight, God knows, probably tens of thousands of dollars in supplements. Like we've all fallen for it. So don't shame yourself for that. But really, you want to work with someone who keeps it real with you, who can show you how do you navigate it? How do you resurrect a launch that isn't going well? How do you course correct when you've put out a digital course and you don't really have anyone buying from it? Like, how do you get it going again? How do you get the sales going so you're not just having this like graveyard of offers that you've put out there and no one's buying? What do you do when you've had a launch and it's for a group type of program and you were hoping for, I don't know, let's say 100 people in it, and let's say you got like 10 or something, and it's like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? This is the start date. Someone who's never been there, who's not been doing this long enough, who hasn't put themselves out there enough, isn't going to have a solution rooted in any sort of proven strategy because they've not been there. So I just want you to keep all that in mind when you are seeing things online, when you're sitting there pummeling yourself with shame. I tell you straight up that shit has hit the fan many times. But the difference is I don't like veer off and go, I'm never launching that again. I'm never doing that again. That's just going to like sit over here and I'm going to do something else. It's almost never the thing that you're selling. The thing you're selling, the thing that you've put together to help people with, the retreat, the group coaching, the mastermind, the course, the ebook, whatever it is, I would imagine that you have put great time and energy and your intellectual property, and there's great stuff in there. The issue is twofold. One, you do not know of a strategy other than from your ass. From your ass. You do not have anything to follow in order to increase the volume sales versus these like one-off, one-on-one, or someone buying this thing here and that thing here. That's actually the easiest stuff to sell. Okay. Like that's why when I put out my applications are open, which they are right now, my summer applications for my exclusive 2-month private business coaching program, they fill up so quickly, and it is the highest level way to work with me. You would think that the least expensive way to work with me, the cheapest way to work with me would sell the fastest. No, that's not how things roll, just so you know, in any industry. So I only take 4 private clients at a time. So once I start mentioning this, we fill up quite quickly. Who is this really designed for? This is your move for real if you're done fucking around and you're tired of not having the amount of people in your program. You have a visibility problem. You know that once people take your thing, learn from you, work with you, they're a client for life. They love you. They're so appreciative. And you just need to have more people know this about you and have exposure to you and the right exposure to you. And if that was the case, then your offers would fill up. Like maybe you've gone and done a speaking thing, or you have gone on a podcast, or you've gone in front of someone else's like Facebook audience or whatever it is. And once people are exposed to you, you get clients. So you have that, but without doing those things, it's kind of crickety. It's kind of hit or miss. And then it makes you not really want to do launches or put things out as often because now you've got this like trepidatious feeling of, Am I going to get the amount of people and the amount of effort it takes to do a launch and execute this program if I don't have enough people? And then you start doing the math and you're like, that's $10,000 before taxes and credit card fees for all this time, effort, and energy. That's just not worth it to me. And then even subconsciously, you take your foot off the gas or you're not as motivated to do the thing. Some of you are sitting there stinging with wounds of past failed launches and things not going well repeatedly. It's like you can't take any more hits. Like enough's enough already, where you're like questioning your business, your existence, even your talent sometimes. Like your brain is now going off into a never land. This happens to people who are established entrepreneurs or even people who have been starting from scratch. You need a customized program. We need to have things set up in a way that feels good to you, that is reverse engineered to get you the goals and the enrollments that you want, and have a true launch process to treat your business like a real business. It's going to get real numbers. It's going to get you high level results. That's when you work with me at this level to do that privately. So you can swipe up, go inside the show notes. My application is in there. And if you are watching on YouTube, shout out my YouTubers on Project Me TV. That link is in the description inside YouTube. This is not a link that's available in my Instagram or TikTok bio. So don't be looking in there. This is the only place that it is available. If I put it in there, which I have done before, which was a fail of mine, we get hundreds of applications and it's insanity. So I'm only looking for people who are excited, who want to make this happen, who are serious. You can be scared. I'm scared all the time. I kind of want you to be a little scared. That shows me you actually give a shit. But you're like, enough's enough already. Like, we're doing the damn thing. Okay. So let's get into my scale method to fill your programs with excited buyers, the right kind of people. There's nothing worse than filling your offers with low-level people. And there are people who teach these kind of manipulative sales strategies that you will get people buying from you, but you're going to end up with a lot of headache. You're going to have people wanting their money back. You're going to have shit reviews. You're going to have high maintenance people that end up draining your energy. And then these are people who never buy again. We want people who are excited and easy and reasonable and fun and engaged and enthusiastic about being there, and they want to buy whatever it is you're putting out because they've had such a great experience and they feel so taken care of. And this is one of the ways that you increase your volume. The average cost per customer that I have, and I shouldn't say cost, I'm on no sleep, okay? The average spend per customer here at Project Me ranges from $1,900 to $2,400 year over year. That's incredible because I teach something called offer stacking, where people don't just buy one thing from me. They're in my Project Me Posse business coaching membership. They're doing my Make More, Work Less monetization to manifestation program. They've worked with me privately. They've come to an in-person mastermind event. You know, they've done Selling with Soul. They've done all the things with me. And that's where you get that up. And that's where you start stacking volume with your existing audience. And then when you have the increased volume with your existing audience, now we really focus on having total strangers come to you and buy from you quickly, not where it's like months and months and months from now. Maybe it's one video that they saw, and then that was compelling enough for them to buy from you. It doesn't have to be that it takes them that long to buy. There are different buyer types, but we want to make sure your pipeline is so filled with these people that over time it compounds and your programs just have more and more and more and more people. And then the ancillary effect of you doing any form of a launch, like even me having my summer applications open because I'm not doing my in-person in-person mastermind event this year, which I warned everyone last year that just because I do it one year, that doesn't mean I'm doing it the next year. And I don't know if people thought I was just making up a sense of urgency, but I don't do that around here. And so instead, I have opened up summer applications for my private coaching program. Also, there are new member spots for summer enrollment in my Posse membership open as well, which is a perfect complement. People are in the Posse. They also private coach with me, vice versa. Like my Posse membership is designed to be a complement to all of my offers. So you have that inside the show notes. My Make More Work Less program that's really designed to get to the root of your money wounds and uproot them so they stop getting in the way of your money goals, of your business goals, and so that you can end up being in a different level of yourself and be clear and stop sabotaging yourself subconsciously and consciously. That's 55% off right now. I've never done that before, and that is for a limited time. So everything is in the show notes in the description on YouTube as well. My point in sharing all this is make a move that's going to set you up to make the money you want. Continuing to do more of the same and telling yourself you're going to figure it out. Or maybe I should try this. Or what about this? I need to think about this more. I don't know. I need to lick my wounds more. I'm feeling really unmotivated. Well, you can do that. And then you're also not going to grow your business and help the people that you want to help. And you're just wasting more time. And I get it. I'm not being insensitive. I mean, I've got lots of wounds I'm licking. Okay. I've got childhood wounds. I've got trauma wounds. I have adult wounds. I've got money wounds that I still am working on, as we all do. And at the same time, you can continue to move forward. We don't need to wait until the fear is gone, the discomfort is gone. We need to show up regardless. So the SCALE formula. S stands for structure your offer for sales psychology. So you need to craft your program to sell itself, from your promise to your pricing to how you package the transformation. People don't buy sessions or models and modules. They buy outcomes. People don't want to know all the details of how you get them there. People will glaze over. They want to know that you know what the hell you're doing, that you understand where they're currently at and what outcome they want, and that you are confident that you have a way to get them there. And it is a unique way, and it's not some basic way, and that they believe that you can, and you are the right person for them. They can hear you. They trust you. They appreciate like your teaching style, your coaching style. And that's what you're doing. And also making sure they know, what is this going to cost them by not doing anything? We all need to be reminded of it. What's the cost involved by not taking action in really structuring your business to have higher volume of sales and a higher volume of people in your programs and offers? You are just going to continue trading all your time for money. You're going to get more and more frustrated. You're going to be burnout. You're losing all the money and all the people that you could be helping. And you're just going to continue watching other people seemingly fill their programs while you're over there wondering, what the fuck is it that they're doing that I don't know? Well, you got to make some moves, some real moves in order to have that happen. I don't know anybody who's won a gold medal, who's gone to the top of the bestseller list, who's really had a sustainable business, who's had an exit of a company they've founded without having clear support and guidance from someone else who knows what they're doing. Okay, C, clarify your buyer's real desire. Stop marketing to surface level problems and speak directly to the true result your dream clients are craving. The thing they hope your offer can give them. Okay, so not confidence, not clarity. Yes, they want those things too, but it's what's beneath that. What do they believe that they will get if they had the confidence, if they had the clarity, if they lost the weight, if their hormones were regulated, if their offers were filled with 5 times the amount of clients? What is it that would change in their life? What would that get them closer to? What would that result in? That's what they really want. But speaking general and generic versus specific is a big problem that I see over and over again when people come to me. A lot of you do it out of a good reason. You're general because you don't want to be too specific because you want to be able to help more people and you want to appeal to more people. And you feel if you're too specific, then you go, well, what about this person? What about this person in this circumstance? What about that? But when you are trying to help everyone, you end up attracting no one. So you've really got to narrow that down, like even per offer, right? It doesn't have to be your overall niche of your brand, but per offer, who is this specifically designed for? And what is it designed to help them with? What is it designed to get them closer to which core desire? And then you can have other programs for other people's scenarios in your audience, right? You don't have to, not all your things need to solve all the problems. In fact, that kind of sounds too good to be true to people and it's overwhelming. It sounds like, really? It can do all of that? And nothing is really specific enough where it scratches the itch. You know what I'm saying? And I know that you've noticed this when you've looked at programs and offers and what has made you buy and not buy, which is just a bonus tip in here. Go analyze your own sales behavior. What makes you lean in? What makes you lean out? What makes you say maybe later? What makes you say, nah, I don't know about that? What makes you go, oh, I've got to grab that? That will likely be what will work for a large percentage of your audience because like attracts like. Okay. So, attract through authority content. Position yourself as the guide they trust by consistently sharing authority-driven, emotionally activating content that solves micro problems and builds belief in your method. Micro problems, not macro problems, okay? More specific and detailed. The deeper you go, the dollars will flow. You just speaking in general and vague, and you're not really getting into the deets of things, the scenario of things with people, it's not going to hit. We like knowing when someone plays back the stuff that is really going on in our head specifically and what type of behaviors we're doing or what's really going on behind the scenes. I've done it in this episode already and relating to you where you're going, that's exactly what I'm going through. Like you're literally describing me, Tiff. You need to give your audience that feeling or they're not going to feel magnetized to buy. They're not going to feel like you get them on a deep enough level where they're going to hand them dollars over. Well, I'm not going to hand my dollars over unless I feel like you really get it. Because we all think we are inherently unique. And we are all unique, but like we think our problems are more unique than they are. That's why I shared those stats in the intro, about how many people don't have the amount of people in their programs that they want. Because I wanted you to know, like, it's not unique to you. It just feels like it's unique to you because entrepreneurship makes you feel like you're on an island all by yourself when you don't have support, which is why I package and offer the programs, the memberships, the things that I have for you. Because when you're all alone on Entrepreneur Island or on an island with a goal of whatever it is in your life, and you feel all alone, your brain takes over, your ego takes over and makes up shit and will delay you for years. Remember, it took me 10 years to start Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and business coaching academy. And I had the money and I had the receipts and I had the talent and I had the intellectual property and it still didn't matter because it was me going about it alone with me in my own head. And if you're a fellow overthinker, overanalyzer, okay, this is what's costing you the most money. So you've got to position yourself as the trusted guide. And someone only will trust you on an intimate level as a stranger if you're speaking their language, if they feel like, wow, this person like really gets my unique circumstance in life, my unique circumstance in business, my unique circumstance with my health or with my partner, with my hair, okay? Like with my lashes. It doesn't have, not every, and this works for any type of business. I work with people in over 71 different industries. I've never seen this not work. Okay. L, leverage emotional sales psychology. People buy when they feel seen, heard, and emotionally pulled towards a result. Use storytelling, use social proof, use identity based messaging to tap into buying triggers without any convincing, any manipulative tactics, any false promises. We don't do that over here. That's cheap. And cheap tactics get you cheap ass people coming to you. Okay. And some of you have tried some cheap tactics in desperate times. Okay. And guess what? With my first business, when I got real desperate around year 3 and I was like, I cannot go back to corporate and I need this to work and I'm terrified, I succumbed to some of those cheap tactics. I bought some like I bought some like program on CD, like a multi-disc CD from like a bro marketer. And I was like, I was already an award-winning salesperson, but it wasn't fucking working. So I was like, well, this bro who says he's made tens of millions of dollars must know more than me. And I'm not saying maybe he didn't, but it was so shady. And I even kind of knew it. My body knew it, but I still did it because I was desperate. Those were the worst clients I've ever had in my life. Most high maintenance, most naggy, unappreciative, and they were dishonest in their own business. And I won't say like what businesses they were, what brands they were. I mean, these were not small companies. So I did make the money, but at what cost? It's never worth having a client like that. It's terrible. So when we have high integrity ways of connecting, of serving people, of showcasing our proof, of showcasing our offers, of showcasing and sharing how we can help people, we attract high level, excited, appreciative people. So we don't want to use any gimmicks. And I just want to acknowledge you. I understand when you're desperate, you might have fallen for that, or you might have had someone teach you that. And I need you to stop it immediately. I want you to use my emotional based sales techniques. And if you have not learned them, this will be the best investment you've ever made. Okay. I teach these all over the world. I get paid a ton of money to teach these to corporate sales teams. This is when you are relating to someone on a deep emotional level. So they know you get them. You understand their unique circumstance, and you also understand where it is they want to go and how they want to get there. Because I know you guys, you don't just want to make coin. You're not willing to trade your health. You're not willing to trade your sanity. You're not willing to trade your time with your family, with your loved ones, with your self-care in order to make a bunch of money. Because a lot of you have already experienced that before. You've experienced burned out, or you've put yourself on the back burner. You've sacrificed yourself. You've ignored yourself. You've abandoned yourself for work, for a career, for other people, other things. And you don't want to do that. You're wanting to bring in money while you're helping people, doing something that you enjoy while having a life and bringing in money that fuels and funds that life, not sucks you dry from it. And I've done it both ways. That my first business that I still have, my digital marketing agency that specializes in the pharmaceutical and medical sector, I didn't know any better. I came from corporate and I literally almost died. I mean, I did not know. It was all about, well, I guess I have to work harder. I guess I have to work more. I guess I have to push more. I guess I have to grind more. And so what that I was bringing in, some good money, I guess by all standards. Good money. It might as well have been dirty money because I couldn't go on trips and enjoy them. I was working the whole time on trips. Any sort of activities like concerts I might have wanted to go to, I would get sick. I didn't have it in me to be able to go. I was spending money on all sorts of things to manage my health because I was constantly feeling like crap. And then my hair was falling out. And I was like bitchy to people around me, or I was unavailable and I was numb. That's no quality of life. That's not worth trading money for that. And you don't have to. Hence my program, Make More, Work Less. That's why it's such an important program to do, because your mind has been programmed to believe otherwise. And if we don't uproot that, no amount of strategy I teach you, you can't out strategize a broken or damaged money mindset. Just like if not that I'm a relationship coach, nor should I ever be. but I do coach a lot of relationship coaches. And it's like when someone is very wounded, you could meet the most incredible man or woman, and it could be a setup on paper to be a great relationship. But if you're the walking wounded and you have not done any healing around those wounds, hurt people hurt others, and it won't work no matter how amazing that other person is. I've been in relationships with people who were the wounded, and no matter what I did, I couldn't outlove that person to get them to love themselves. Same in business, same deal, and infuriating equally in a different way, where you are trying all the things, doing all the strategy, all the stuff, and you keep hitting a brick wall. You keep hitting a brick wall. You're sliding backwards. You've hit some milestones and you slide backwards, and it's totally maddening. It's because you have a wounded money mindset. You have stuff going on that needs to be dealt with. And best place for you to go is take advantage of that summer sale for Make More, Work Less. ProjectMeWithTiffany.com/special offer. And it's inside of the show notes. Okay. That's not going to be available for that much longer. So let's look at the final thing in scale E. Expand through aligned invitations. Make selling feel like a natural extension of your content, not forced, not I've got to do this, not like flipping into a different persona. And a lot of you do that and you don't realize you do that. Even your voice changes. Even it's like everything changes. Like you're all of a sudden, I'm on stage, da 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 da. It's because you're uncomfortable doing it. And so you end up masking. Maybe even you realize you're masking, but you don't know how to stop masking, or you might not even realize you're not pulling it off. And energetically, it's like repelling people. Regularly invite people to join your offer in a way that feels grounded and exciting and not forced or desperate. It should just be casual. I do this in my podcast episodes. You see me do this in my content regularly. You see me do this in my emails. And I'm not saying you need to do it like me, because you're not me. You don't speak like me. Hopefully not, because I make up words. But you have your own unique way. And that's something when you do work with me privately that we work on, in finding your way and building your comfortability with that, because I know where it comes from. You don't know what to say or how to say it. And when we aren't clear and we're confused, then we end up confusing our audience, and then our audience isn't clear. And confused people don't buy. They can't buy. They can't place you. They can like you. They can appreciate you. They'll say stuff like, I'm going to work with you someday. I love your content. Thank you so much. This was so helpful, blah, 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 blah. But they're not buying because it's just not sticky enough. You have not made it clear and specific enough where it has really hit the nail on the head for them. And I got to tell you, I would say it's fair, just because I know you guys so well at this point. It would be fair for me to say, I'd say 78% of you are like 1 inch away from having a floodgate of clients and cash coming in. You're not as far as you think you are. You've got some holes that need to be filled. And once they're filled, it's happening. You have everything else there. That's part of why you're like in so much discomfort and pain. It's because God, the universe, spirit is forcing you to get help and get out of your own way, because you are right there, literally. Like you're in that final part where you need some refinement, tweaking, and you've gotten the base stuff, and then it all comes through. And you don't see it because everything feels like such a slog. And it's easy for me to say on the outside. This is why I have my own coaches and I have a therapist. Okay. I can't see what I see. And when things are reflected to me, like I was told, I need to wrap up with this, but I was told, I should probably do a whole separate episode on it. If you guys want it, let me know if you want it. You can DM me on Instagram at Project Me with Tiffany, or TikTok at Project Me with Tiffany. If you're my TikTokers, make sure you're following me on Instagram, because we don't know what's happening with TikTok. But I do have a call with TikTok tomorrow. And I have a special live training I'm doing inside my Posse membership on what we need to do to simplify social media so we can stop losing our minds and still get results in 2025. And I am going to share all my findings from having this TikTok call, where I am assigned a personal rep from TikTok because of my size following And because we do advertise on TikTok, and not some big dollar amount, but because we've advertised consistently. So I do have a rep. And I think that you will find the conversation interesting because it's based on facts, not people doing all sorts of videos telling you what the algorithm is to do and what you need to do now and this hack. Like, unless it's coming from the source and it's coming from facts, they're just guessing from their ass. All it's going to do is overwhelm the fuck out of you. And I know you're overwhelmed with social media and you feel beholden to social media and you feel desperate with social media and it doesn't feel good and it feels heavy. And now everything feels heavy because you don't have the amount of people coming in that should come in that you know you can help and you know you're great at what you do. And then you watch other people who you know are kind of full of shit or have nowhere near the experience that you have. And you honestly, you kind of even are like, this person's even kind of basic. They're not even that interesting, but it looks like all these people are buying their offers and they're getting hundreds of shares on their stuff. And like, it's like cricket land over here. And what the hell is going on? You do have stuff going on. So let's find out. Let's take a look at it. We got to pop open the hood of the damn car and find out. We can't just like sit back and stare at the car and go, why isn't my car running well? Why does it keep overheating? And then just expect it to fix itself. We have to remind ourselves. We lose our minds when we're in a frustration point. We're not thinking clearly. And part of my job, hopefully in a fun and funny way, and I hope you know a loving way, but I've got to like rattle you up with some tough Tiff love too. Like, because I wouldn't be a good coach if I only told you what you wanted to hear. My job is to tell you what you need to hear in a way you can hear it. And while we have fun along the way where you feel empowered, it doesn't need to be this hard anymore. Stop making it so hard on yourself. It'll be the best thing that you've ever done, where you're like, you know what? What can I do to make this easier? What can I do to make all of this easier on myself? Let's fill these holes. I know I'm close. You can probably feel it. And you're not wrong. Okay? You're not wrong. It's that you just can't see, what is it? Your ass from your elbow? It's like an old-fashioned saying that who used to say that? My stepfather. I think it's your ass from your elbow. Are those the body parts? I don't know. And are there sayings like this for all my internationals who listen? Like, are there sayings like that in your country? I always love to hear these. Anyway, take a screenshot of this episode if you appreciated the raw honesty and like direct, straightforward advice that I'm giving you in order to pump up your offers filled with amazing people. Share it on social media. Tag me at Project Me with Tiffany. I love you so much. You know where to go to swipe up for all of the offers, the sales, the links, the application on any of the podcast platforms. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's at Project Me TV and it's in the description in YouTube for you. And I love you so much. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Bye.